And in another big news, we are tracking here on WION India, Russia, China, Brazil and South Africa from one of the world's most important economic blocs. And the BRICS Heads of State and Government Summit in South Africa's Johannesburg seeks to widen its influence and push for a shift in global geopolitics. Russia is being represented by Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, with President Vladimir Putin participating online. And there is strong buzz, of course, of a possible meeting between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chinese President Xi Jinping. In recent years, the border between China and India, which is the line of actual control, has become the site of growing tensions. Chinese aggression has sparked clashes along the mostly rugged, mountainous border known as LAC. Amid Xi Jinping's irrational territorial ambitions, both sides have increasingly militarized their border policies and show no indication of backing down. The situation on the border remains tense due to China's violation of border norms. Beijing and New Delhi are hardening their positions on either side of the line of actual control. Now, India is firm that peace and tranquility in border areas is essential. New Delhi says it is fully prepared and committed to protecting sovereignty and dignity of the country. Indian National Security Advisor Ajit Doval is accompanying Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the South Africa visit. Both are expected to land today evening. Putin decided against attending in person as he is the target of an international criminal court arrest warrant that South Africa is, in theory, bound to enforce. Now, BRICS was founded as an informal club in 2009 to provide a platform for its members to challenge a world order dominated by United States and its Western allies. Its creation was initiated by Russia. As per UN data, the BRICS grouping represents more than 1/4 of global GDP and 42% of the world's population. Significantly, the BRICS have seen their economic influence increase over the past decades as drivers of global growth, trade and investment. The heads of state and government of the member nations convene annually, with each nation taking up a one-year rotating chairmanship in the group. Now, the bloc operates by consensus. All the BRICS countries are part of the G20 of major economies. Some 50 other leaders who are not BRICS members, including Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi and Indonesian President Joko Widodo, are attending the South Africa talks. At least 40 countries have shown interest in becoming members, with 23 having submitted their applications. Some of the countries aspiring to be BRICS members include Argentina, Bangladesh, Bahrain, Cuba, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, Nigeria and Saudi Arabia. Bloc aspirants view BRICS as an alternative to global bodies viewed as dominated by the traditional Western powers. Now, they hope that membership will unlock benefits, including development, finance, and increased trade and investment. Dissatisfaction with the global order among developing and underdeveloped nations has exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, when life-saving vaccines were hoarded by the rich developed countries. And Beijing is pushing the BRICS group to become a full-scale rival to the G7. And Xi Jinping wants BRICS to China dominated. Well, if at all that will happen, that remains to be seen. Analysts say that countries such as Algeria, Argentina, Egypt and Iran see BRICS membership as a means, above all, to gain easier access to Chinese investment and financial support. Now, for more on this, our correspondent Alison Lagrange is joining us live on this broadcast. Welcome to the broadcast, Alison. First up, I would like to ask you, how is the mood on the ground? All right, we are having some technical issues reaching our correspondent Alison there. We will be trying back, but those of you who are just joining us on this broadcast, we are talking about the much-awaited BRICS summit of this year, 2023. Just a while back, we were told that Chinese President Xi Jinping has reached Pretoria. He was received by the South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, and we also saw the Chinese delegation being received with a ceremonial welcome. Now, the BRICS bloc consists of India, Russia, China, Brazil and South Africa. But a very important point to make here is that it's not just these 5 countries' head of states who are going to be in South Africa for the next 3 days for the summit. World leaders of about 40 countries have also been invited, around 30 of them being from the African continent. And it's a push, a visible and a categorical push against blocs like the G7, which is known to have a Western alliance and a Western-led narrative, which blocs like BRICS is trying to counter here. Now, we're being told that Alison has been patched back. And Alison, thank you for joining us on this broadcast. I want to start off by asking you, how is the mood on the ground? What is happening at the moment?
Right, Ananya, thank you so much. I'm currently standing at the Sandton Sun Hotel. It's in Sandton, Johannesburg. It is just a block away from the Sandton Convention Center, where the main summit is due to start today. Now, everyone that I've spoken to here is very excited. I've seen members of the Indian diaspora, members from the consulate, and they've all said that they're very excited to hear Prime Minister Modi speak. Now, Prime Minister Modi is expected to arrive here any minute. He will come to address members of the Indian diaspora, and they're all eager to hear what he has to say. India, of course, has very strong connections, people-to-people ties with South Africa. People have traveled from India, they have traveled from every corner of the country, from neighboring countries, all to be here for the summit and also to see Prime Minister Narendra Modi. After this event, Prime Minister Modi will be going across to the Sandton Convention Center for the opening of the Business Leaders Forum at the BRICS Summit at the Convention Center.
All right, Alison, of course, diaspora has always been a major element in any of the foreign visits of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But I want to ask you, how are the people of South Africa receiving him and receiving the diaspora and the love and the very full-fledged affairs that takes place at every single diaspora event that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also going to attend exactly where you're standing?
Absolutely. So there are very strong people-to-people ties between the people of South Africa and India. The members of the diaspora community who are here are dressed out in their best. They are in their traditional Indian attire, all ready to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Very big excitement here.
All right, Alison, thank you for getting us all those insights. We will be coming back to you as and when developments happen.